What's up, everybody? I'm Zap Rath, musician and actor turned content creator, and I'm here to help you design a practical and personal money blueprint that provides a sustainable framework for achieving your financial goals. And today, we're going back to the basics. If you're tired of being poor or middle class, if you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, if you're tired of going to that same job you hate day after day after day, if you're sick and tired of just being sick and tired, then this is the video for you, because in just a few moments of your time, I'm going to lay out the financial basics so that you can understand money and be equipped to make money work for you. So make sure you stick to the end of this video, because I'm also going to show you how virtually anyone can move up in class, no matter where you're starting from. And I'm going to share with you the single sentence that is the key to financial freedom. And I have the charts to back it up. All right. All I ask in return is that you hit that like button, because that lets the almighty algorithm know that this is a cool video and more people should see it.
All right.
In order to understand financial literacy, we're going to have to define a lot of money terms in this video. You're going to need a clear definition of all of these terms in order to understand how everything relates to one another. It might sound basic in the beginning, but as we go along, you'll see how we'll need clear definitions to put all the pieces together. So the first word we're starting with is income. What is income? It's money that you earn. And for most people watching this video, 94% of your income at least comes from either your job or some kind of retirement, Social Security, things like that. The next word is expenses. Expenses is money that you spend. Again, easy. Now we can break expenses down into two categories. We have needs, things that you need to survive: food, clothing, shelter. And in today's society, you might even throw transportation and communication in there. And then we have wants. All right. Not things that you need, but things that you want: entertainment, luxury items, vacations, stuff like that. So we can break expenses down a little bit further. Now, using these two categories alone, we can see why most Americans are broke and living paycheck to paycheck. With the savings rate at about 4%, that means the average American is spending 96 cents of every dollar earned.
Damn!
Another good money term to know is income statements. Income statements are the financial tool that we use to track income, money that we earn, and expenses, money that we spend. So if you know how much you earn, how much you spend, how much is coming in, how much is going out, you get a better picture of your financial situation. Now, for most people in the poor and middle class, the money comes in, income, and it goes out through expenses until you're zero or next to zero, and then the cycle starts all over again with your next paycheck. And this cycle is identified in a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, which is heralded, I guess, as one of the best books for core financial literacy. It's a book that I read many years ago. It's a book that a lot of people have read, and it has completely changed my view on money, how to make money, how to manage money, things like that. And so this is why just giving people money doesn't always fix their problems. Often it rarely fixes their problems, because they have the mindset of money in, I get it, and then I spend it. So if you just give them more, they tend to just spend more. The poor and middle class especially engage in what's called lifestyle creep, meaning that when they have money that comes in and it's more money than they usually have, they usually spend it on things that will enhance their lifestyle. And for the middle class especially, they spend it on things which end up in another category called the balance sheet. So we have an income statement that is tracking our income and expenses, and we have a balance sheet. Now, there's a lot of things on the balance sheet that are being tracked. You have assets, which are things that you own; liabilities, which are things that you owe; and equity, which is the difference between the two. Now, the middle class, when they have more money to work with, they tend to buy liabilities: cars, houses, credit cards, where you owe something and you're making payments. And then Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki explains that the middle class loves to buy these liabilities and call them assets in order to display a rich lifestyle, to really feel rich, when in reality, they can be struggling as much, if not more, than the poor person who makes less because they have so many liabilities. And the average American household has about $11,000 of just credit card debt. So the middle class really lives in liabilities. Every month, they owe their liabilities, and then the rest of the money goes to their expenses, and then they're just like the poor. If nothing at the end, they have to go back and get another paycheck, go back to work. On the other hand, rich people take the money that they earn and they immediately buy assets, specifically income-producing assets. Why? Because of this chart. So if you look at this chart, we can see what I said earlier, where most people, once you get around the 80th percentile and below, so 80% of people, their money comes from their job, that blue bar. But as you go up the chart, if you go to the top, you see that blue bar, the job bar, becomes less and less and less, and assets become more and more and more, specifically investments and businesses. So if you're looking at this chart, you can see that the name of the game, and this is the sentence that I told you about at the beginning of the video, the name of the game is to have income produced by your assets that is greater than the income produced by your job. And this one sentence alone is the key to financial freedom and the difference between wealthy and middle class and poor. You can visually see it here. The only difference between these people and the people below them is that they have assets that are producing income that is greater than the income that is produced by their job. So remember, assets are things that you own. Income producing assets are things that you own that produce income. Examples of these include real estate, where you get rental income. It could be stocks that produce a dividend income, or a stock that you sell and you get a capital gain income from that. Intellectual property that produces royalty income. And more recently, crypto, which is one of my favorite income producing assets. For instance, if you download the Kraken app in the description of this video, deposit at least $200 and trade it for crypto, excluding stablecoins, you'll receive a $75 bonus within 2 weeks just for trying out the platform. And if you download the Gemini app in the description of this video, deposit at least $100 and trade it for crypto, you'll receive a $75 bonus as well in 30 days just for trying that platform as well. So if you do both, your $300 in assets will create a $150 bonus of income, bringing your $300 to $450. And that's how income producing assets can work.
Nice.
So now you're thinking, this financial literacy sounds nice, but how do I really become rich? What if my expenses are too high? What if I'm stuck in my liabilities? I already bought that car, I already bought that house. The city that I live in is unaffordable. What if I don't make enough money at my job? How am I supposed to invest in income producing assets? Well, those are really good questions that will probably be answered in another video. So make sure you subscribe. And if you like this video, click that share button. Don't be greedy. Share it with at least 2 people you think could benefit from this information. Thanks, and I will see you on the next one.